Welcome everybody to the 2024 Inter Miami's Leagues Cup review. So today's Monday, August 19th, and we know exactly what happened on this day last year, and that was that Inter Miami has won their Leagues Cup last year on this day, which is a historic day for Inter Miami and really a historic day for MLS and the city itself. It was a remarkable night. This was one of the best nights I had in my life. And, you know, wow, in 366 days, times have changed, did it? It really has times changed. Well, okay, I'm talking to myself. Well, we're going to talk about this Leagues Cup, and our Leagues Cup ended abruptly and heartbreaking. It sucked, but what can you do? So, this Leagues Cup had major differences between last year's and this year's. Last year's we had a lot of signees, including one of the biggest ones ever, Lionel Messi. Messi comes in against Cruz Azul, and history was set since. That Leagues Cup, we are undefeated. We beat Cruz Azul, Atlanta, Orlando, FC Dallas, and that was in penalties. Charlotte, which was a rollover blowout. Philly, and then Nashville for that. This one, and that one was with Messi scoring 10 goals, which was incredible to start off his Inter Miami career, as well as his buddies Alba, Busquets, and the young guys who were stepping up and wanted to play with the GOAT. They did just that. However, this one was very different. This one we had to play without Messi because one reason only is he would have came back healthy for the Leagues Cup, except he got hurt in the Copa America final at Hard Rock Stadium, and it was disheartening. It sucked, and it surely made a big impact on the ability to win half and half. However, since his absence, with going to the Copa America and then getting hurt, Inter Miami has really held down themselves. They really have held down themselves to the best of their ability to do so. They were pretty good. They even got the new jerseys, which was like the Dolphins. And now he got hurt, and they had to go on this Leagues Cup. Very different. Now, despite what's going on with the boycott, and all that situations, despite that, and the attendance has been okay. I wouldn't say sellouts because a lot of them were not sellouts. Although I would say the attendance was not as good as they were last season's, but that's the Messi effect. And one of the reasons was Messi didn't play because he got hurt in the Copa America final. And then the controversy surrounding MLS treating this like a big ultimate tournament from, teams in America, teams in Canada, and teams in Mexico, combining into the one big ginormous tournament. And, I wouldn't complain too much about it because A, we won in number B. If you want to do something cool, like an in-season tournament, something like this, by all means. However, what I don't like is the fact that they would treat this as a big hole over the U.S. Open Cup, which U.S. Open Cup clearly had more value than the Leagues Cup did, even though there were problems with their attendance as well. Anyway, getting off topic with the U.S. Open Cup, the attendance was not as good, and mainly because of what I just said. But let's get right into it. Our first game in the group stage we had with Puebla and Tigres, and I already talked about this in detail, so we're going to sum right through it. Inter Miami did win this game against Puebla 2-0. That was in July. Rojas was playing great football, soccer. He was hot. He started finding the back of the net consistently. And then Suarez, and then this is another difference, is Suarez was playing. So, we're still undefeated at that point in Leagues Cup history. However, it all came to a crashing halt when we finally lose our first Leagues Cup game against Tigres. Campana would score that penalty, but Brunetta was scoring that opener, and Vigian, I can't pronounce it. He would ultimately finish us off with the turnover that happened from Christoph, and it sucked that we lost that one. It still stinks, but it didn't sting as bad as this recent one. We still lose that one over the turnover, and I don't know what to say about that one. But during this, there were some roster moves. I think Borklund is going to be gone. I kind of forgot, but either way, we're gonna keep going forward. Now, Puebla lost. Tigres beat them, and the goal differential was in our favor, which by all means, we already qualified to the round of 32. And I think there was a set of rules of last season where we were undefeated, and then not to mention this season we are the top of the MLS in regarding points, because in the MLS we do have 53 points. That's 5 points over FC Cincinnati, which we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But our next match, round of 32, goes to Chase Stadium against Toronto FC, and Toronto FC was no pushover due to the fact that Inter Miami had faults of their own. However, like I said earlier, Rojas started to find them back in the net more frequently, and he scored 2 goals. One of them was down 10 men. So in the 27th minute, David Martinez did a stupid thing. He brought someone down as I forgot whether or not it was Owusu, but it was somebody, and that by rule it's a denial score opportunity, and he was sent off. And it sucked. But once he was sent off, Inter Miami had to play the rest of the game, being up 3-1 to, kill the clock, milk the clock, whatever you want to call it. They were playing defense mode for the rest of the game. And not to mention, as they were hurting themselves, they're hurting themselves more by, keep committing penalties in the box. There was 3 of them. 2 of them were confirmed. 1 of them was just outside, which was that denial score opportunity. But even still, Inside scores both goals in the penalties, and Noah Allen did a fault of his own in the 79th minute to have own goal in. And from that point on, we were just thinking, please, let's just get out of here alive, which we somehow did, and we win this game 4-3 despite being down 10 men. And we move on to round of 16 where we run into Columbus, up at Columbus, Ohio, and must I really talk about this? We were leading 2-0. Could have been 3-0. But damn, dude, this hurts. This hurts worse than Tigres. Because at least with Tigres, we had some fault of our own, which there was fault of our own. But that negligence of the head coach, Tata, it's daunting. The fact that he would just let his players still be playing without making more substitutions, they're gas, and Columbus figured this out very quickly. Rojas scores another goal. Diego Gomez with the banger, which was amazing. We were thinking good. Make substitutions. Impossible. Since then, Ramirez scores a goal, and Rossi scores a game-tying and a goal-ahead goal that would ultimately win the game for Columbus Crew. Moving on to round of 8, in which I believe on this time of recording, they are in the semifinals, and they're going up against Philly because they beat NYCFC in penalties. And this was the frustration. I talked a lot about this in my last video with Tata, just not making substitutions when it matters most, like this situation. And I fear, come playoff time, which Inter Miami's most likely going to make the playoffs. But my question is, actually a couple of questions. 1, can Messi come back? And number 2, are they going to win the Supporters' Shield? But either way, I don't know. my moral of the story is Tata must make substitutions when the game is either losing ground, which they were losing their ground when Columbus figured this out, and put fresh legs in. And they didn't do it. And with that, ends our Leafs Cup run at round of 16. And I guess the biggest victory of them all, no one got seriously hurt. So that's good news. I think that's really good news. No significant injuries. And therefore, we can now solely focus on MLS play. And it starts off this Saturday at Shea Stadium against FC Cincinnati. Now I'm ready. I'm ready for some revenge. I am ready for some revenge, and I expect some better play time from our players. Will Messi be back in time? I don't know. Worst case scenario is September, but even then, that's when international break does occur. So he'll probably go back to Argentina and play some games there. If that's the case, I'm seriously hoping he doesn't get hurt, really, because this is crunch time. And big chance I'm gonna go back to Miami and watch Inter Miami play there. And I'm really hoping that I'm gonna see Messi there play again. But yeah, it's crunch time. Miami's going to focus on MLS play from now on. Every game matters, even if we're on the top. And more importantly, health matters. And there you go. That's the Leafs Cup review. Shame that it ended the way that it did the other day, which was, I can't believe I forgot, last week. Wow, 6 days ago. But yeah, folks, it is what it is. We have the Leafs Cup last year. I mean, that's good enough for me. But yeah, folks, either way, that is going to do it for this one. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, because Miami TVG gets it back. And what it does, hit it right there with the fair entertainment you deserve. This is Miami TVG. Sign out, folks. Audio.